Namaste. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. Let's all take a deep breath in, deep breath out, and collectively hold space for Sharon, who's lost her dear soul dog. And thank you, Sharon, for feeling open and supported enough to share something so personal here. We all truly hold space for you through this difficulty. And I will, of course, I'm going to do a reading. And there has been, I use this journal, the Wee Moon. I know some of you do as well too. And there has been a passage that is, so when did this page? So I've been looking at it and avoiding it. It was just after the year and a glance for Virgo that has come up. And it's a piece by Shelley Blooms called Into Kali's Cauldron. And as I was reading the first few lines of this, I was also reminded of a final bit in the Out of Africa movie, or if you have read Karen Blixen's work with Out of Africa, and she asks if she will be remembered, if there will be a game that reflects her name, or there will be a shadow that is cast, or there will be a color that reflects something about her. And there's just something about this, and I want to read this to you. This, for some people, this might not seem appropriate at all, but there has been so much dynamic and challenging energy that was presented through Leo season, and I think now we are in the settling and the opening, the reflection, the understanding of this energy now, moving into it. There's still a lot of self-reflection that is absolutely required at this time. But there's just something really powerful about this. So let me read this to you, and then we'll do a reading for Sharon. Will the record show that we signed up for this gig? I'll turn it so you can read it with me, okay? So you can see it. So it's called Into Kali's Cauldron. And I'll have to lean over. I'm reading sideways here. Will the record show that we signed up for this gig, that we willingly climbed into Kali's cauldron? Or were we pushed, drawn, coaxed, pulled, hoodwinked, suddenly submerged in Kali's chaos and impenetrable darkness? Though, truth be told, it was a gradual accumulation, one jaw-drop calamity, one soul-shuddering catastrophe after another. Striving to trust this disruption, this upside-down world challenge, to test our mettle, to burn away the well-worn, comfortable parts, our rationalizations, our excuses, our flaking, expendable shell. Our eyes have been torn from their sockets, lost in the black holes of the irretrievable darkness, fighting the temptation to just surrender to hypno's honeyed sleep. We rally our resources, hands reach out to mold the overwhelming night into spark, ears strain to glimpse tones that might be fire, noses inhale deeply to detect scenes of hidden light, tongues probe the void to discern the taste of a preternatural dawn. Our instincts on high alert, intuition steps up to the microphone. Trust Kali's roller coaster tour of hell, an improbably charitable blessing, really, truly, a tunnel of love, journey from which we will emerge. Scathed, yes, but wiser, stronger, clear-eyed, and ready, finally, to do the work that must be done. And I share this. For those of you that were on last week. I ended the readings early because my world, my family's world, has been shook. It has been rocked in an unbelievable way. And I must believe that we will emerge wiser, stronger, clear-eyed, and ready, finally, to do the work that must be done. This process of being shook and rocked and it's so weird, funny, haha. We were looking at the suit of clubs in Lenormand in the last hour. And it really is how we look at these challenges. And so no matter how difficult each of these events are for you, and I'm talking to you, all of you, to trust that this is your personal purification so that you can come out and get down to business. And when we get to the general question for today, I want to remember that this is indeed very intense for some people, and be very respectful of that. Okay. I went back to my tarot cabinet, Sharon. This is a reading. This is a message from Sharon's dog, Pippin. This is a message from Pippin to Sharon, and the poem is by Shelley Blooms. And it's from the Wee Moon 2022. I pulled out 3 decks, Sharon, and if you want, I've chosen Anima Mundi, but if you would rather have Naked Heart or the Low Rider Dachshund, let me know. Those are the 3 that I pulled out. Let us all, I've lit a candle for you. Let us all hold space for Sharon and in her grief, and let this reading provide comfort to her, surrounding her with love and warmth from her dog in spirit. It's very interesting. I'm feeling an intense amount of energy in my forearms, as if, so the arms, of course, are connected to the heart space, and there's just this intense amount of energy pouring out of my hands, which it's an overwhelming feeling coming from the heart space. Pardon me while I just sit here and shuffle cards. I find it so soothing and comforting. Okay. This is this looks like such a beautiful journey card. We're starting in the suit of water. Oh, wow, Sharon, that's so beautiful. What a lovely synchronicity. So this feels like a journey card. This feels like a journey to the other side. This feels, it also has that melancholy. There's a moodiness to this. But it feels as if and six, the I'm so, can I say I'm so happy? I feel this is such a blessing of love and connection. The number six is the number of beauty. It is the number of connection. It is the number of peace and harmony and love. And perhaps that's one of the reasons I was feeling that powerful energy, right? Flowing from both my divine feminine and my divine masculine side. The energy is flowing like in a circle from my heart space. And so the Six of Cups showing up here is, yes, it is melancholy, but it is beautiful. It is beautiful, and it reflects a sense of connection, a sense of connection, and a sense of um, a reminder that you and Pippin are connected through time, in spite of time. And I don't think that there could be a better card to show up here. This is your photographs and memories card, that he will always remember you, that he will always have, I'm sorry, I don't know if it's a he or she, he will always have love and uh, the words that coming through is grace. Um, there's a sense of grace that's coming through here. Dee says, the distant horizon is beautiful. And you know what? I have to tell you something. So I was talking about Karen Blixen, and I have been, there's been so many synchronicities, and it has to do with this question. Will the record show that we signed up for this gig? And one of the Karen Blixen quotes that comes to me over and over again is that God made the world round so that we would not see too far ahead. And here we are looking at the horizon, and we don't know what the next step is. And so I feel as if Pippin is also inviting a sense of perpetuity with that. Okay. Pippin also, I mean, the tarot doesn't lie, and I hesitated in pulling this card, but I want to say that um, Pippin also acknowledges the the pain that you feel in your whole body. Um, I knew that one of these cards was going to show up that actually looked like death. Pippin is a boy, okay? And I feel this is Pippin's acknowledgement of your grieving process. And there is an open-heartedness here as well too. So this bird, the heart, the belly is exposed, and this piercing is also a way of purifying, releasing. And so remember, my intention was this is a message from Pippin. So Pippin is acknowledging the emotional process, the emotional experience that you're having at this time, and um, wants you to be open-hearted and to, um, oh my goodness, okay, this is so beautiful, um, to not let this loss, to close your heart. Um, let your heart bleed. Let your heart, um, let it all run through your heart, so that your heart may heal, so that your heart may remain open. And sorry, this might be too personal. I don't know if you are a large breasted woman or not, but I have this image of a large breasted woman comforting and holding something very close to her heart space. Um, yeah, yeah. And then we have um, a card of new beginnings, transformation, creation, so that Pippin acknowledges the circle of life, the full circle of experiences, and wants you in your heart to know that you completed something for Pippin. You completed something for Pippin. And now Pippin, now the soul of Pippin is ready to emerge. Um, Pippin has a gift. Pippin has a gift that he is preparing for another soul. That is a message for you. Pippin has a gift that he is preparing for another soul. Isn't that interesting? I don't know that I've received a message from an animal before telling me they have work to do. Hmm. The gift, the gift you gave me, and I keep hearing the word grace. The gift you gave me was grace. So take this message from my heart through me, through my heart, through my physical body, from Pippin, and hold it close to your heart. And trust that he is well on his way to his journey, and that he feels quite feisty. He feels quite feisty in that it's almost like his essence knows that he has work to do. It's almost as if he's repeating the last lines of that poem. And so we release Pippin's soul in peace and hold space for Sharon at this difficult time. 2 weeks ago, I offered a theme, ready or not, here I come, ready or not, here I am, ready or not, here I, and many of you filled in the blank individually. And carrying on with that particular theme, I have been reflecting on what is astrologically happening at this time and felt that the readings today, if we could move through and carry on with that theme, I suggested a couple of questions, and of course you're free to ask whatever you want. But this is my reflection, my personal reflection, and you may want to do this for yourself later as well too. And Ready or Not, Here I Come was about empowerment. It was about your authentic self stepping up and stepping forward. And so today I ask, what does it feel like when your cup is full? When you allow your own light to shine in a way that feels so good in your skin, in your heart, that your whole being pulses. Building on the theme of 2 weeks ago, Ready or Not, Here I blank. Today we will explore this a little further. Card 1, what part of myself sorry, that's a typo, has not been seen or has not been seen for a while. Card number 2, what needs to break down, break apart, or be released in order for this authentic reveal to happen? And card number 3, what might my life look like if I were to allow my whole being to shine? Okay, so that was my reflection. And we'll see what Pallavi had in mind. And I guess I will say hello to everybody. I haven't, welcome to new member Pam McKean as well too. All right. So Donna, hello. Saskia, welcome to you. Hello. Namaste, Joel. And Dee and Mimi. Lydiane, hello. And Pallavi. And there we go. There's Pallavi. May I get a general? Okay. So Pallavi, in the theme of today's reflection, I will interpret your cards, and I'm going to read from the field tarot. I have lots of tarots on my side table, so we'll see. And as I go through, as I scroll through, I will say hello to the rest of you. This is a reading for Pallavi on the 30th day of August, 2022. Reflecting on her continued self-discovery. Keeping an eye on the questions that I just suggested. What aspect of herself has not been seen? What is ready to move away? And what might everything look like if she were to embrace that? Okay. And I will read the keywords. I may not necessarily interpret based on the keywords. Reliability, perseverance, and work. Prince of Discs, 7 of Discs, 3 of Discs. This definitely is an energy of strength. It's an energy of stamina, perseverance, not so much tenacity, but inner strength, inner will being realized, inner will shining through. So looking specifically at those questions I was asking is perhaps what has not been seen, or what has not been fully realized, first card, is that indeed you have more strength, greater power than you give yourself credit for. And while in this deck, the Knight of Discs appears, I want to say, protected and cold, quite intimidating. There's something about this particular card to me that feels like it's time for you to stand up for yourself. Time for you to stand up for yourself. And that has not been seen for a long time. And so it is your turn to stand up for you and what you believe in. If we look at the second card, to what must fall away, I feel as if there's it's almost as if you must demand this now. You have journeyed through many steps, adventures, and you heard the poem that I read at the beginning, and there's a sense of it is okay to demand this. It is okay right now to stand up and say, yes, I'm here. Look at me, pay attention to me. I am strong, I am fully capable, and I will enhance your experience in a way that you haven't given me credit for in the past. And I feel as if perhaps you yourself haven't had the courage to stand up in this way. So this is about you demanding this right now, and not in a childish way, not in a childish way of pounding your fists on the table, but you recognizing that you fully deserve this. And if you look at the knights as they're on a holy grail quest. These knights are on a mission. They are on a life purpose path, and you have arrived, and you are ready to join and to inspire and to co-create with others, and I want to say to even lead with others. Okay, so there you go. That is Pallavi's message. Joel got a job at the new spiritual shop, which is opening here. I'm very nervous. New challenges is hard for me, and anxious that I've accidentally built up an image that I'm having a hard time with the English. That I can't more will I don't. And then Joel says, how are the energies around this new job advice? Okay. All right. Sorry, I was just reading it in order, and then Donna's letting me know that Mimi is next. Okay. So Joel, we'll come back to this, and I just want to say, let's all find some strength. Send Joel. I mean, Joel, you have this inner strength, right, within you, and oh, I want to go back and say something to Pallavi as well too. I just turned the deck over. I love looking at the bottom of the deck for more information. But maybe this is also for you, Joel, as well too. This is the Hermit card in this deck. And so whether this is for Pallavi or Joel, I'm not sure, but there's a real sense of trust here. There's a real sense of trust of being in the right place. And while the card and the bottom, it can be a challenge. And so this might be something that you absolutely need to hear, that perhaps you hold a light, Pallavi, you hold a light that others need to be around. You are the firefly that others will shine and grow with. And Joel, this is for you as well too. So let's remember that. So we'll come back to you, Joel, and put Joel down on the list, Donna, please. And then we will go to Mimi. Okay. Hello to Ruchi. Welcome. What has not been seen? This is a reading from Mimi on the 30th day of August, 2022. The questions should be loud and clear in everyone's mind as Spirit surrounds and supports us through our self-discovery, through our challenges. Jumper card is the World. Okay. What has not been seen? What is ready to fall away? And where are we going? What might this look like? So your third card is this co-creation card as well too. So what has not been seen or not been seen for a while is, I feel like there's a rawness here. There's an innocence, when you were a little girl, when you were, I don't know how young, I'm feeling like 12 years old. There may have been something that tremendously influenced your life. There may have been a dream that was squashed. And so this is what is emerging. This is what is coming to the surface. This is what is being illuminated at this time. And so there's a tenderness about this that feels really important. And it is so ready to shine through. There's a sense of adversity with that Ace of Swords. And remember that I suggested this is something that can be released. something that can be released. And so perhaps what can be released is the need to know exactly where this is going. There is an intensity with the Ace of Swords. Perhaps your voice is not entirely clear. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. You don't have to have the whole itinerary laid out in order to step forward. This is a reading that's asking you not to wait. It's time for you to step into your dream. It's time for you to step forward into your growth, regardless of whether you have the exact plan in alignment or not. There is a beautiful connection that is growing, that has been that spirit has been working to build, and the background layers have been, I feel like they've been in the work for a while. And the truth is that you will come together with others to co-create, to create, to develop, to make the world a more beautiful place. And you no longer need to fear what was held back so long ago. Now, interesting that the jumper card was the universe card. And what I'm sensing there truly is an emergence from the darkness to the light. We see all of the chakras represented on this card. And it's almost as if there's this flush, there's this rush of energy from the root chakra through the crown chakra, like a wave of energy washing through you. It's really beautiful. Okay. So there you go. That was for Mimi. Welcome to Hannah. Hello, Hannah. Dee, you have this journal as well too. Yes, I do remember that. Okay, so Ruchi is next. It's so funny. I'm looking at the King of Swords in this deck. It looks like Lucius Malfoy. That's a Harry Potter reference for those of you that don't know the character. All right, Ruchi. So what aspect of Ruchi has not been seen? Allow your messages to flow through me so that we can all sit together here in circle, inspired, moving each of us through our own version of Kali's cauldron. Emerging wiser, stronger, clear-eyed, and ready finally to do the work that must be done. Same card. Same card. Okay. What might it look like, and why might it look like the Eight of Swords? So you as well, and an ace in the center too, an emotional ace. When I'm also looking at the keyword as well here too for the Eight of Swords. There are points in our journey where we cannot do the work in companionship, where it is where the lessons, the journey absolutely must be experienced alone. And I feel that, okay, you would be much more efficient. You would be able to uh, step more quickly. Um, Progress is another word. So it's really there's an intensity to the experience of being alone, and if you can give yourself space. And it's funny, Ruchi, because when I'm looking at this particular reading, I'm relating to it as well too. And part of that is so I'll give you my example, and maybe you can find your own connection to this. But I'm thinking about renting a cabin. I'm not sure if it's a cabin in the woods, but it's a cabin that is quite isolated so that I can focus on some work that is not possible to do here in the busyness of life. And so there with this sense of isolation is a gift. It's something that has a higher purpose. This is very interesting. What I'm looking at here. So this is what hasn't been seen, and that is an aspect of yourself that is in growth and development. We're releasing. We're releasing. Uh, Perhaps we're detaching from the emotional influence. Perhaps we're detaching from the sensorial overload. And I want to go back to the poem that I read earlier, and where the author talks about each of the sense organs. She talks about the hands that reach out, the ears that strain, the nose that inhales, the tongues that probe, our instincts on high alert. And when we give ourselves when we give ourselves the gift of sensory quiet, and perhaps as well too, that's what the isolation will offer, is is quiet, is peace and quiet. So perhaps that's what you need at this time. I know you're a student, you are working on exams or something, I recall. Perhaps this is about you going off on your own for a while, giving yourself some space. And if you think about the Eight of Swords as, the bird in the cage kind of thing, there's some lightness to that as well too. And also the whole lemniscate energy feels very powerful here. Like this space, this isolation is very important to your development at this time. Okay. Again, not another light message. Thanks, Ruchi. Thanks, Donna. All right. So Joel, I have not read everybody's comments on in the chat. So if I am repeating or contradicting anything that anybody has said, just know that I haven't read the chat in entirety. And I think, Joel, that these questions are really fitting for yourself as well, too. That in the anxiety of entering into this new experience, there's a part of yourself that is ready to stand up. Your jumper card is the wheel. There's a part of yourself that is ready to be seen. And there is indeed something, in order for that to be seen, it needs to fall away so that you can truly shine. Your anxiety may be completely unfounded. I'm just going to go through the chat a little bit here. All right. Hello to Elisa. Welcome. All right. So this reading is for Joel. Interesting wheel card with the white cat silhouette being reflected in the nighttime, and the black cat silhouette being reflected in the daytime. This is your turn. This is your turn. And you're all aware, right, of the whole idea of we need the whole. We need our black side, we need our white side, we need our masculinity, we need our femininity, we need our completeness. Our completeness is our fortune. The wheel is changing, Joel, and you are in exactly the right place. 8 of Coins. We have lots of pentacles today. Dedication. Another 8, Joel. So 8s are very guided. We have another circle. We have the full complete lunar cycle on this card. So there is a completeness, there is a fulfillment, if you will, to taking this job. Interesting. Look how that dog, I think it's a dog. The dog is sitting in reflection of the whole cycle, the whole picture. So let's go back to the 3 questions. So this is an aspect of yourself that hasn't been seen. Perhaps you are not seeing yourself as whole. You are not seeing yourself as complete. That indeed you haven't let your greatness shine through. You've just been offering the world a piece of what you are. Incredible amount of repeating cards. And so for you, I want to pick up on that stony nature of this Knight of Discs. And also the sloth-like energy that sometimes is felt around the Knight of Discs. And so this is your release card. This is your letting go of that comfortable pace. Letting go of the comfortable pace and allowing the wheel to turn, to spin as fast as it needs to. We also have another circle here, Joel. And there's something about circles that might be an important part of your reflections, your meditations, what you focus on at this time. You definitely are stepping into your version of your karmic reset. Justice, right? So justice is the karma card. And in this deck, this is an 8. So we have an 8, we have an 8. And 8s are the energy of leveling up. This is for your greater good. And your initial question was, I'm going to answer the actual question. How are the energies around this new job? I want to say to let yourself shine. To let yourself shine, to let yourself stand tall, to know that this position, no matter how anxious it makes you feel, is in alignment and exactly where you need to be at this time. Okay. There's also a sense of humility in this face. The head is slightly bowing down, and there's an honoring of, this is fascinating. This is so fascinating, Joel, that this is your jumper, right? This is your jumper, acknowledging change. And then we have this card of humbly receiving this gift. And you are quite literally rising up. You are not on ground level. You're stepping up to the next level. Love that, Lydian. When I was a little girl, I had a backyard neighbor who was in, I don't know, it was like the child's version of some sacred society, and they wore purple robes and they had really complicated ceremonies. I can't remember what it was called. And I remember I went to one of her initiations or something. And that's what this feels like, much like what Lydianne said. Yeah. So there you go, Joel. This is the right place at the right time. Breathe, my friend. You'll be okay. And you have us. You can check in with us any Tuesday. Ooh, I'm going to separate those two cards. I like to separate the cards when I'm shuffling, just so you know this is all quite by coincidence. The cards repeat themselves. Okay, so next up is Elisa, and I will find her. Elisa. Okay. I'm just going to go back to Donna's comment here. I'm getting that it isn't so much an imposter, but you connecting with your higher self. Accept that and all the wisdom and guidance available to you. Beautiful. Yes, the Tarot Foundations class is not full. Yeah, it'd be lovely if you could join us. This is the first time that I've taught this class that it hasn't been sold out way in advance, which is really, really weird, but it's not sold out. Okay, so we're going to Elisa. All right, and Heather's here as well too. Hello, Heather. Sorry I didn't see you. All right, I'll find Elisa. Sorry, I'm just scanning to see if there's a specific question for Elisa. And Colleen. Namaste, Colleen. I didn't greet you. Oh my goodness. Where is Elisa? Elisa, there's Elisa. Thank you. Elisa, you're on the list. There we go. There's Elisa. Okay. I received a gift of a new deck from one of you, and I'm feeling very almost overwhelmed from the level of gratitude that's come in these days through cards and gifts and things. And so just I want you to know how touched I am by all of you that have reached out in various ways. This is a reading on the 30th day of August for Elisa. In today's theme, of allowing one's light to truly shine. That kind of experience, when I don't know if you've actually ever felt like that, or there have been glimpses of it, the whole body vibrates. You feel like you are so connected to spirit. And this is what I wish for all of you, to have this sort of feeling and to know how to get there. And to have the courage to let go of the things that are in your way, whether they're in your mind or in your heart or in your physical world. Okay. All right, Elisa, what aspect of Elisa is ready to be seen? What aspect of Elisa is ready to shine through? What might she release? And what might her world look like on the other side of that? Very interesting cut of cards. Okay. Powerful stuff here. Okay. Tower. Ace. We've had a lot of aces in the middle, and we have the Fool card here. Okay, so Elisa, you are definitely on a new journey here. Major with an ace in the middle. Doesn't get any more. Also the number is wrong on that. I'm just looking at the banner that's scrolling down below. There are fewer. I didn't edit that. Yeah, there's fewer than 9 spots available. Sorry, I didn't edit that. Um, okay. So let's look at what aspect of yourself is ready to stand up, to be seen in terms of the Tower card. Okay. And this is it's very interesting to interpret this in this position. Okay. And I feel there's a couple of messages for you. One is knowing full well that you will not break. And that seems contradictory, right? You think the Tower, right? This is let me think on this just for a second here. What aspect of yourself is ready to be seen? Again, I'm getting you are an indomitable force. You are a powerful force. And what is revealed after that lightning bolt strike is the real you. And so what I'm saying, what I mean by you will not break is if the robe is released, if the mask is taken down, if the walls fall, your authentic self is still there, and your authentic self is more you, shining brighter, standing taller. Your soul will not break. You will be okay. So what needs to be seen is your true self, not the walls that you have created around yourself. Right? So you want to let those walls fall down so you can emerge. And what is emerging is is a softer side of yourself. What is emerging is a softer side of yourself. Um, this is the release, right? This is a release. So this is not um, not going through forcefully. There's a gentleness that is being asked for. And when I look at this combination of cards, there's a vulnerability here as well too. And perhaps vulnerability is a big theme word for today. And this idea of not knowing exactly where we're going also feels important. Don't waste time making plans, just step forward. Aisha, hello, welcome. Right? Are you with me? There's an expression in English about, getting all the ducks in a row. And the truth is that all of the ducks don't have to be in a row in order to go forward. You're fully capable of moving forward without everything being completely lined up. Okay. So let's think about this whole thing today. Um, the poem that I read at the beginning, Into Kali's Cauldron, the sense of uh, emerging as your true self. What if, and I repeat, I'm reading from down below, what does it feel like when your cup is full, when you allow your own light to shine in a way that feels so good in your skin and in your heart that your whole being begins to pulse? And in order to step into that, we need to have the courage to face what's ready to come through, but also to let go of what isn't serving. And there can very much be a sense of loneliness in that, of being alone. It's not easy. And I know a lot of us have been through this to varying degrees before, but this is something that's, and a lot of this has to do, with the energy of Venus and Leo and a lot of the other planetary interactions right now. But you are a light. You are a light, and let your light shine. You do. You have this. Okay? All of you. So thank you all for being with me today. And yeah, if you're still interested in the Tarot Foundations course, um, please sign up soon. It begins at the end of September. And I'll be sure to edit that banner for next week. And maybe we'll be sold out by next week. I'll let you know. I may be also offering the chakra class soon. I'm just seeing if I have any time in my week to do that as well too. So have a lovely rest of your day. I am going live again later tonight. It'll be a card comparison video, a follow-up card comparison prompted by one of you. So thanks very much. Have a lovely rest of your day. Namaste, and thank you, Donna, so much for moderating the chat. Bye for now.